Isn't she so old? Is he talking about me or you or both of us?
I think he's talking about me.
I think it's because you like homemaking and...
You're telling me I'm undesirable to the youths?
No, I didn't say that. Welcome to Wine About It. Everybody needs to say how beautiful Cutie Cinderella looks today because she's sad because she thinks she's ugly.
I had to switch to the Logitech Brio because my other camera has too many pixels. Made me want to.
Your hair looks good. It does. It looks very fluffy and soft.
Thanks.
You
That's
look like
what I was going for.
Wild, free woman.
I'm not that, unfortunately.
Oh.
I might be. Well, I have drama in my relationship.
Oh. All right.
Did you know? Did you hear? You did hear because I called you. And I told you.
Okay.
She doesn't remember. Okay, drama in my relationship. We have actually so much drama to talk about. This is the drama episode.
I don't even know where you're going. I'm scared because I don't know what you're about to talk about right now.
The first drama that you and I never talked about was, it sucks now because other stuff has happened. But the first thing is Cinna having a crush on my boyfriend.
Oh. Right.
Whoa. Crazy.
Yeah. Calm down.
She came on our podcast. Notice she didn't tell us when we said, who do you have a crush on?
I don't remember asking her that.
I don't think we did, but I'm kind of over that, so I don't even care to indulge because I've made all the jokes that there are to make, and I hate repeating jokes.
Okay.
So whatever, it was funny, and I made some funny jokes, and we're over it. But then, you know how sometimes I get mad at, I don't know what's going on. I have like 2 straps on this like bralette, and I'm trying to do like the shoulder thing.
Audio listeners, she is being
self-conscious today.
Crazy. She's stripping.
So you know how sometimes Dream Ludwig's a freaking whore? You
are not going to talk about this.
Yes, I am.
No way. That is so why you have to stop being so brave on this podcast. It's actually crazy.
He talked about it.
Oh my God. Where? On the yard?
Not just on his stream, on Squeaks' stream, on Foosly's stream, on Valkyrie's stream, on Cinna's stream. To 30,000 people.
That's actually have you talked to him about that? Because I didn't know that, and when you brought it up, I was like there's no way. Like Poopgate's one thing, but I was like there is no way she's about to talk about this. No way.
No, I'm going to talk about it, okay? Because I did the thing. Okay, so listen, sometimes you got dreams and you can't control them, you know? And sometimes Ludwig cheats on me in those dreams, and I wake up and I say, you asshole.
Yeah.
Look what you did.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have a dream where I happened to cheat on him.
Wait, everybody don't pause the episode. We're going to give you 5 seconds to guess who you think it is before she says who she made sweet love to in this dream and cheated on Ludwig with.
We did not make sweet love. I'd like to make it very clear.
4,
we kept it very
3,
PG.
2.
It was very
1.
romantic and sweet.
It was Lacy.
He's only like 10 years younger than me. I don't know why it happened. Okay. I don't know why it happened, but it happened. We had a lovely time. It was very romantic.
Oh my God.
We went to a Taylor Swift concert.
Have you talked to Lacy?
No. He'll be fine.
Should you?
I DM'd him. Actually, I was asking him questions about his clip system and he didn't reply to me. So I think he's like, hates me.
Heard it probably. And he's like, ooh, yikes. It's
really definitely.
Gross.
He saw the clip on Twitter of Ludwig talking about it. And he replied and he said, huh? And then I replied and I said, we went to Taylor Swift. It was a very sweet time. And then he didn't reply. So Lacy hates me.
Wow.
Okay. Blew my shot with Lacy.
So, you guys were in love in your dream. You held hands.
No, that's not the important part. That's not the important part. We were in love. We went to Taylor Swift. We held hands. We sang all the songs. We made out. It was crazy. But there was no sweet love.
Okay.
Thank God. That would, no offense, Lacy. It's not you. It's me. It feels it feels violating.
Yeah,
you might already feel violated.
He's a little young.
Lacy, apologize. I kissed you unconsensually in a
Oh,
dream. I'm very sorry.
what?
No, it was consensual in the dream, but as a waking human, it's non-consensual, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
You didn't agree to be in the dream. I don't know how you got there. You showed up. You had the tickets. I didn't even have the tickets. I'm sorry, Lacy.
Okay.
But I did what any level-headed person does, and I wake up from that dream and I go, "What the frick?"
Yeah.
And so I say, "Well, now I feel bad because I always get mad at Ludwig for cheating on me with Monica in my dreams."
Yeah.
And so I said, "I got to come clean." So the first thing I wake up in that morning is I text Ludwig and I say, I have to find it verbatim. um
Guys, in the comments below, let us know, is this worse or not as bad as Pootgate?
what why is that? Why is it bad?
We just want to know what they think.
Wait, what? I don't even remember what day it was. I called you. It was
I don't remember either. A few days ago.
I don't remember. I guess I could just search Lacy in my phone. It's not like I talk about him that much. Respectfully, sorry, Lacy. I said, so Saturday at 9:48 a.m. I woke up and the first thing I sent him was, "OMG, I have a confession." And then I said, "In my dream last night, I was dating Lacy. This time I'm the problem."
Yeah.
And he just replied with, "Ew." I said, "He took me to a Taylor Swift concert. We made out. I woke up so concerned." And then Ludwig said, "Okay, in the future, I don't want to know all that." And I said, "Oh, okay. Sorry for being honest. Sorry for coming clean. It's only fair because I always get mad at you for my dreams, so you can be mad at me today."
Mm-hmm.
And so I was giving him perms to be mad at me.
Which
And I
he's
was,
just not gonna
"I'm
do.
sorry. I'm sorry I'm honest." No, Maya, he is gonna do, for the record. Cause then he goes on his stream. He has a marathon stream with Ray and Foosley and Squeaks, and Cinna pulls up. Number one, he invites her. Little sus. At least mine's in the dreams, you know. Um, and he's talking. I don't know why he's talking, but he's talking to the four of them. I don't know how to count. And he's like, "Cutie had a dream last night." And he's like, I shouldn't say. And then he was like, she was dating Lacy in front of 30,000 people. Thanks, Ludwig. You could have just said she was dating another streamer. You could have said anything besides put on me blast with Lacy. And then this is the issue. Fast forward 8 hours or whatever. I'm on Twitter. I see the clip. I see Lacy's replied to it. I'm like, oh, frick. And so then I call Ludwig on stream. I said, "You don't have to tell everyone I was making out with Lacy in my dream." And he was like, "I didn't
I
tell
didn't tell
anything
them.
now." So anyway, you should watch the clips. You shouldn't just read Yoxic's bad reporting, Yoxic. I'm not going to unmute the clip. You need to put the whole.
I don't
So anyway,
want to be
okay.
in a Yoxic tweet. Don't
I
put my
won't be.
face in
I'm not
there.
relevant enough unless I'm talking about someone else. Apparently,
Keep me out of it.
keep her out of it, Yoxic. So that was my weekend drama.
Wow.
But this
Wow.
drama has nothing to do with like the current atmosphere of drama. This is so like minor league baseball in the grand scheme of the NFL, you
That
know?
is I think those are two very different things.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
That was the point of my
sure.
analogy.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, yeah, thank you.
No, I think it's good drama though. I like it. I am mad at Lud
Thank you.
for talking about it though. I think that's insane. You couldn't get that out of me. Like you couldn't torture that out of me if I was live and they were like, "Who did Cutie have a stream with?"
I did not have sex
I know,
with
I
that
know.
man. I did not have sex with that man
I know.
in a dream.
But I would never say that. So that's huge betrayal. That's actually really messed up of Ludwig.
Well, yeah, it is. It is. It is. He never says, because sometimes he'll wake up once or twice. He's woken up and he's like, "You cheated on me in a dream," and I'm like, "With who?" And then he won't tell me. Or like sometimes I don't think he tells me when he cheats on me in his dreams, but
Ludwig,
you could. It's a dream.
we could just like
I don't care what your innie's doing.
I saw that tweet.
Thanks. So Ludwig and I last week we were eating, and Ludwig's like hunched over eating. Out of the corner of my eye, I go slot, and then I go, oh.
Oh.
I don't know why. It was like a
That's
Freudian
weird.
slip because out of the corner, he just looked like him, like silhouette and everything. It was just slime.
Wow.
My brain had like a glitch, and I literally thought slime was there without thinking of like, how did slime get here? Like I just go and then I go, oh my god, I just called, and he was like, and then he was like mad, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. It was just a glitch
We
because
could
it's just he just looks like him. I mean, if I cosplayed as you all day, you might accidentally call me or call me you.
we could like make up rumors about Ludwig to get back at him and then hope that they get clipped.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like say that he has a sex dream about a Wiggles member or something.
Yeah, Ludwig was only mad at my dream because in his dream, he also made out with Lacy and
Yeah.
he was jealous.
Yeah. And Cutie's
Yeah.
dream was better and more intimate and more
Yeah,
real.
and we went to Taylor Swift. And now Lacy's not DMing me back when I'm asking him for earnest advice.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Thanks, Lacy.
That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
so he hates me. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that happened to you.
You think I need to apologize to him? Do I need to send him a message and be like, sorry?
To Lacy?
Yeah. I didn't mean to have the dream.
Would you want him to apologize to you? Maybe. Maybe you would want him to apologize to you, actually.
I don't think I would.
If Jason was like, Lacy had a sex dream with Cutie Cinderella, he thought it was awesome. Actually, that's just funny.
Stop calling it a sex
Sorry.
dream. I would like to make it very clear. I don't know. Should I call Jason and see if he's mad at me?
Why would Jason be mad at you?
No. If Lacy's mad at me.
Why wouldn't you
Like,
just call
Jason
Lacy?
would call you to see if... I don't have Lacy's number. Do you have Lacy's number?
Yeah.
What if you call Lacy and just act like I'm not here?
I think he's lying.
Be like, hey, I'm just checking in. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, he's live. I'm not calling him.
Just vibe it out.
No! He's
Why?
live with 18,000 viewers.
Oh.
I'm
Doing
scared.
what?
No.
What is he doing?
I don't know. He's sitting there with Adapt.
Just call and be like, Lacy, I was wondering if you're mad at Cutie. And he'll just say yes or no. And as soon as he says no, be like, okay, that's all, bye. And then we know, and I don't have to worry about it. Because if I worry about it, he might penetrate my thoughts and then end up in my dreams again.
Don't say penetrate your thoughts, dude.
I didn't mean it.
That's crazy.
I did not mean that sexually.
She has intrusive
Officer.
thoughts.
What other word did you want me to use there?
Oh.
I'm sorry. Are you guys not that honest with your partners? Maybe I'm too honest. Arrest me.
Would I tell my partner if I don't know if I would tell him that.
Well.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should be less honest.
Lud did say that he doesn't want to know.
He doesn't want to know now. I'm never going to tell him again. And some of these thoughts are spicy, so he's missing out.
All right. Should I call him?
Yeah. Just keep it casual. I hope he's not mad at me.
Hello?
Lacy.
Yeah?
I'm filming. Who was that?
What?
Was that you?
Was what me?
Oh, sorry, nothing. Never mind. I'm filming Wine About It with Cutie, and I was just wondering if you were mad at her.
Why would I be mad at her?
Great.
So you're not mad at
See?
her?
No, I'm not mad at her. Why would I? Oh, because she had a dream about me?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you thought that was
Oh my gosh, she
weird.
did. Just adapts with me.
Hi, Adapt.
She did. Hey, Maya. I mean, you guys have to understand, girls tell me all the time they have dreams about me. So it's not like a shock. Yeah, it's normal, tell her.
Right.
Cutie, it's normal.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
she
I feel
said-
shy now.
She said, okay, thank you. And that she misses you.
No, I didn't say that, Lacy.
All right, talk to you later.
All
Wait,
right,
he
have
didn't
a
say
good-
anything
wait,
back
Maya,
after that?
What?
I want to come on.
Come on, what?
Whine about
Whine
it?
about it?
Podcast. Yeah.
Oh,
Is it
I'm
'cause you have a
nervous. I'm
crush on
shy.
Katie?
I kind of have a crush on
No,
him.
'cause I want to get into the girl talk.
All right. I'll
Okay.
text you.
Next time you're in LA, tell him
Okay,
next time you're in
bye.
LA.
All right, bye.
Okay. Saved. Apparently, a lot of women have these dreams about Lacy, so
Dude,
he's
he
fine with
said,
it.
I want to come on it, and his whole chat is losing their minds. No!
That's
No!
funny.
Oh, someone in his chat just said, isn't she so old? Is he talking about me or you or both of us?
I think he's talking about me.
No!
What I will never understand is why. How old are you again?
26.
26. Okay, you're fine. You get away with it. No one. I never see that comment about Fuslie, who is older than me,
Oh,
or
drum.
Valkyrie, who is older than me,
Ooh,
or
drum.
Cinna, who is 28 years old, same almost age as me.
I thought Cinna's 26.
Why? What?
I thought she was 26. I thought she was the same age as me. No?
No.
Oh. I don't know.
Cinna, me Googling. Cinna age. Yeah, she's 28.
Oh. Sorry.
No one calls them old. Is it just because I'm white and my wrinkles show?
I think it's because you bake and like homemaking and
You're telling me I'm undesirable to the youths?
no, I didn't say that. Our producer said it's because they
Nico
never
said
talk
'cause
about
they're
their
never-
age. Like we just talk
You
about how
mention
old
it
we are.
every other time anyone is younger on your stream. Oh,
Oh,
well,
there you
I
have
will
it.
take that back. Lacy is not 10 years younger than me, and him and I would totally work out in the real world.
Yeah, they could totally bang.
No.
Anyway.
Okay. Great. Well,
So
feels like I've done irreversible damage, so.
I'm sorry. I did not help.
Do I just need to act younger?
You could try.
I'm just like too tired.
You know, Steak and Creekcraft are coming to Alvis this week on Thursday.
Oh, huge.
Woo! It's gonna be awesome. Steak,
That's exciting.
You guys know Steak now. Our last guest episode
Only half of
that
you do.
that you loved
Respectfully.
dearly. You really
You
liked that
unsupportive
episode.
jerks.
No, they liked
Didn't
it.
watch our guest episode.
They did.
Whatever.
They watched it. It's just glitching.
I'll never. The viewership is glitching. I'll never forgive you, freaks.
It was a fun episode. I liked it. And I liked
All
Steak.
right. Well, we've had enough lighthearted fun. Are you guys ready to get dark? Put your freaking binoculars on, everybody.
Why? Oh, like night
what do you need in the
goggles?
dark? Yeah.
All right.
Put your
strap
freaking night
in.
goggles on.
Put on your night goggles and get a flashlight. We're going in.
We're going into the darkness. Maya, you explain. I've been talking too much and I want to eat this cracker.
Crunching while I explain this happening is crazy.
I'm on the mic.
Okay. You guys probably saw on Twitter, Cinna and Ray we're doing a marathon together, which is awesome. And they're having a lot of fun, and they did an IRL at the pier with Emaru and Valkyrie's assistant, Emily, and Cinna's cameraman and friend, Rosie. And they were just like having a good time streaming IRL on the pier. They took a picture with a guy. 30 minutes later, I guess the guy came back in different clothes and just got really agitated and ended up like charging at Valkyrie's assistant. And the girls had to run, and it was very scary, and he threatened their life. And it was really, some of it was on stream, and then the stream ended. And then Cinna and Valkyrie did a stream today where they talked about what happened. And it was very emotional and very sad and very tough to watch. And it started a lot of conversations online about how scary it is to be a female streamer and how dangerous it can be and how unfair it is. And it was very sad. that is the context.
Well, now what? Should we quit?
Quit what? Being a female streamer?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I will say IRL streams in general are they can be pretty dangerous regardless of gender. I mean, freaking Jason had a guy throw a pumpkin at his head, right?
Right, yeah.
However, the difference is that person that threw a pumpkin at Jason's head was a homeless man.
Who like didn't know who Jason was. Right.
Who didn't know who Jason was.
Right.
The difference with this one in particular is it seems like when the person first approached, they only like knew Emmy and Valkyrie, and then they had to be like introduced to Cinna, and then they left. But then when they came back on, they were watching the stream, and then they asked Emmy specifically for her number. And then was obviously had a little ego out moment after the number was rejected live in front of 20,000 people. But I mean, I don't know what Emmy was supposed to do in that situation, and a lot of people have like critiqued the way she handled it, and it's just so funny because it's such a lighthearted way to handle it. She handled it in like the nicest, like, you know, like non-confrontational way. Like she was like, I don't have a phone, I don't know how to use it, you know, like obviously she could have been like, no, my king, you may not have it. Like, you know, like I don't think any way she could have answered it would have de-escalated that guy. Like he's just a kooky. And but what will be interesting is that no one, and I don't know how, with how many people have seen this face, no one has been able to identify him yet. And there's a difference, not that it super matters, but it kind of does when it comes to laws. But there's a difference between a tweaked out viewer and tweaked out stream sniper, I should say, versus a stalker. And it'll be very interesting, and hopefully they can identify this guy to see how consistently he has been following Emiru, because in a lot of these cases, it's not a one-time instance. So that's what people are seeing. They're seeing this one-time stream sniper yell at somebody. But what you might not know is the months and months and months and months of logs via email, via burner accounts, via Twitters, via Instagram DMs. You like never know. And there's obviously a significant difference in all of those things. And so I really hope that they can identify this guy. And I'm just fascinated that no one on social media has been like, that's my friend Brad or whatever yet. Like it is crazy that he's like, you know, we're almost at 24-hour mark and we still don't have like a name. Incredible that this guy seemingly has like an invisible digital footprint, but is that aggressive or unhinged. It's just bizarre. But a lot of the stuff that people don't see is what happens behind the scenes that a lot of us can't even talk about because it's more dangerous to acknowledge than it is to than to not. And so you have to like make those choices wisely while you're silently suffering. And it just sucks because as a streamer, your job is to talk to your audience and to try to be like vulnerable sometimes, or just like tell them about your life. And there's this whole section of just like traumatic things that are happening to you and haunting you and weighing you down, and you still have to push that go live button and not talk about it because that person could be watching, right? Like we don't know how long this guy has watched Emiru. Like we have no clue. Maybe he was just angry in that moment. Maybe he has been obsessively emailing her every day for the past 3 years. We have no clue. It's like, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things about this situation is what you're saying. Like it's something that people got to see, or people saw, not got to see, but like saw. Like it was like in their face. They have to see it, and it is all over Twitter. Like a lot of people are talking about it, and because Cinna and Ray went and explained more about what happened. It's not just that people know that it happened too.
It's also a double-edged sword. That's the interesting thing, is all of this is double-edged swords.
It's also important that people know, like, I think a lot of people have this opinion when it comes to like stalking and like dangerous things as streamers, where it's just like, just call the police, just have the police handle it, you know, like just get them arrested. Why are you coming to Twitter? Why are you talking about it? Why, whatever. And so it's interesting that people are seeing all of that happen and also seeing simultaneously that the police will not do anything. Will not
Yeah.
do anything. Cinna and Ray said on their stream today, like they did not arrest the guy, they didn't catch the guy, and they're not doing anything to find him.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable.
It's the fascinating thing, which
fascinating.
you guys might not know, is he's actually more protected than they are because he's protected under freedom of speech. And since he didn't physically touch them or hurt them, he didn't do anything wrong in the eyes of the law, which is insane. Like, obviously insane. Like, we all saw that. We can all have an idea of his intent, but technically, via the eyes of the law, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, it's crazy because, and listen, I don't know anything about politics, so don't arrest me here. But, like, Hassan getting banned for being like, that guy should be killed or whatever, has more repercussion than a man in real life looking you in your eyes and saying, I'm going to kill you right now. It's crazy that Twitch has a better law jurisdiction than real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's insane. Like,
it is.
Please, like, please help us. Like, there's even this, I had to look into a law, recently. It's called, it's like it's an anti-stalking law, which quite literally is a law against crossing state borders. Which if a stalker has crossed state borders, technically they can get arrested alone without a restraining order. Technically, if they have come from another state to stalk you, but imagine proving that was their only intention to cross state lines, because that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, well, they showed up at my house. They're like, yeah, but like they were there for,
they were in town.
They went to Disneyland. So they weren't just there for you. So they're not a stalker just for you. And you're like, well, they were on my doorstep. So could you help me? And they're like, no.
Nope.
Yeah. Nope, because they didn't hurt you.
Yeah. Did you see Julia Kins talk today too? She talked about a stalker that she's had today. I think one of the first things that I thought when I saw all this stuff was obviously, number one, like, I'm very, very glad that nobody was hurt, because that is insanely scary, and I was just really sad for them. But then number two, I was like, I really hope that this opens people's eyes. Like, I hope they look at it and they're like, damn, that stuff actually does happen. That is really, really scary. And then three, that it opens up creators' eyes to know that it is just like not, like, the world is just not a safe place. Like, we all need to be better at security. I would say I'm probably at like 50% of the time that I have security following me for IRLs.
I don't mean to flex right here, but I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, you have security every time?
Yeah. It's like, except for at Disneyland, because you have to go through security to get into Disneyland.
Right.
But besides that, you can usually, I spy Rafi in the background, and he's just there, or Rudy, one of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think it was a good reminder that we need to have that at all times, because you never think that it's gonna happen, but all it takes is one person.
That's the most annoying thing. Yes, it's a reminder, but the amount of people that are like, why didn't they? Oh, I don't know, because I've done it 100 times and it's been safe. You guys don't understand how much money I've spent, and I'm not complaining about money spent. Obviously, I have a privilege to be able to spend this money, and the privilege of the job to like have the money, but it shouldn't be a side. Anyway, you know how much money I've wasted on having, like, I have had Rafi there every single time. He's had to turn someone away once.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money that is just for, like, and it's work. You have to book them. You got to arrange it. You got to make sure you're on time. You got to, like, it's a lot more logistics than just going out. And think of how often, like, Ron goes out. Nothing's happened to him. Like, Ron's out there every day, right? Like, Ginny's a bad example. Ginny's had someone follow her for miles. Extra Emily has done some extremely dangerous things and has never had a problem. So it's just like, it's this random game of Russian roulette. And the only way to know you're safe is to have the safety on. Like, it sucks. It's terrifying.
Yeah. I told Cutie this morning, I was like, maybe, you know what? After After hearing about all this today and seeing all this dialogue online about how unsafe it is for female creators, and that it's so important that people are seeing this and realizing how dangerous it is, and that'll be good for female creators, that people actually learn that and take it seriously. I was like, maybe it's about time that I talk about my experience with stalking, because I've talked about it a little bit. Like I've like thrown out things here and there on stream. Sometimes I'll be like, I used to not be able to listen to this song because of my stalker, you know, but that's like pretty much, I feel like, the extent, and maybe like a couple stories here and there too. But I've never like told the whole story. And so before recording this podcast, I was like looking through, you know what was really sad? I haven't told you this. I was looking through like all of my documents, because it was all documented, right? Trying to figure out like the timeline of like how to talk about this on the podcast. And it was so hard for me to find all of the information, because I didn't realize how many cases I have open. I have a lot.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't keep track, and they're all numbered too. So it's not like a name, so it's easy to sort through. They're like numbers. And I was going through my email, like trying to find all these cases. I kept getting them mixed up. I was like, oh wait, this was this guy. Oh wait, this was this guy. Oh wait, this was this one. This was this one from this year. So it's not this one. Oh, but this one actually does have to do with this one. So they're the same case. Like,
keep in mind, sometimes they won't even open a case for you.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it can be really hard just to even file a report. Should we talk about it? It's been,
if you're ready.
it's been actually it's been like a year and a half, which is longer than I thought.
Since you've been safe is what we should say.
Yeah. It's been a year and a half since
there's a reason like when I mentioned double-edged sword, it's one of those things where it's really scary with this situation with Valkyrie and Cinna and Emmy. Is this unhinged person is getting a lot of attention right now, which could lead to a lot of copycats that want to get a lot of attention, right? And so it's like this scary thing where it's like, yes, it needs to be talked about, but also it could encourage and whatever. And so that's a lot of the times why women won't talk about their stalkers, is you never know what delusion they're in, because even just acknowledging them could mean that you're in love with them, of course. And so luckily for Maya, she is safe. And throughout all the story, you will learn as to why. But there's like, it's very like, never, my advice at least is, whenever you hear people talk about stuff like this, not to necessarily press them, because it could be bad for their own safety. Especially because I know there's a lot of streamers talking about it now. But just like be a listening ear and not necessarily like, you know.
I just think, yes, I agree. I think that it's important, and it's like, I think it's important for people to talk about it so that listeners, viewers, whatever, realize the extent of it. And I almost like, there's a part of me that was really impressed, and like with how open that Cinna and Ray were in talking about it today, because I was like, man, that's really good for female streamers. Like, this is ultimately going to be really good for female streamers, that people are aware of like how real it is. And then I felt kind of, and I shouldn't, but I did feel kind of guilty, because I was like, I could have talked about this forever ago, and like maybe it would help people, or like
if you would have talked about, I don't know, no.
Okay, well,
no.
I haven't talked about it.
I'm not letting you take any guilt.
Okay, I haven't talked about it, but we're gonna tell the whole story, because I've never told the whole story. Okay, so
picture this. You're just a girl.
Picture this. You're just a girl. You're just hanging out. You're just live streaming. You're just like having a good time. You know, for a whole year, you're just like, ooh, la-di-da. Like, I love streaming. Like, I love hanging out with my friends. Whatever. And then one day you look in your spam folder on your email, because like, I don't know, sometimes you check that when you're like super duper bored or something. I don't know. I just checked my spam folder. I remember that
in my life.
I just checked my spam folder. Thank God I did, dude. I don't know why I did that, but I checked my spam folder one day. Hundreds like of emails, just emails in my spam folder, from a guy who had been emailing me for a full year, and I didn't know. And it was a full year of communication where he was in love with me. And not just in love with me, he was schizophrenic. And so he was in love with me, and he thought that I was in love with him. So he was in like a full-fledged relationship with me online. So when I would stream and I would like look at the camera, I would like look this way, I would look that way, or I would say a phrase, or I would sing a song or whatever. He thought that I was speaking directly to him. And he developed this whole like code language over this past year between me and
like
him.
if you have an M in your title, that means
Right.
you're speaking to me directly.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, what? I don't.
Yeah. Or when I would type an emote, like in any chat anywhere, if it was like it, like the certain emotes meant certain things to him, and so like I was talking to him and whatever. So I found all these emails. I'm like sitting there on my computer. I'm like out of my body. I'm reading them. I'm looking at them. I was just like, it's been a whole year, and I didn't know that this was happening. Also, mind you, it was from a user that I knew in chat, you know? Like we all know certain viewers in chat, like you know their names and you know their color and like whatever. And so it was a chatter that like I knew, and I had no idea that there was anything weird there. I thought he was a normal chatter. Like I talked to him on a regular basis when I was streaming, you know? Like
For the record, as an anonymous person, she acknowledged him on a regular basis. Like when they come in chat and they're like, "How are you?" and you're like, "Good, how are you?" Like,
yeah.
it's still very one-sided, even though you recognize the username, you don't know the person. Like,
right. Yeah.
I
So
keep that very clear.
I printed out all the emails, and then I was like, time to go to the police station. So I printed out all the emails. I had this fat stack of paper. I got in my car. I went to drive to the police station. I pulled over halfway there, got out of my car, yacked on the side of the road. It was disgusting. Because I was just like, I don't know, I was just so nauseous. I like pulled over, threw up, got back in my car, drove the rest of the way to the police station, went in there, went to file a report. They did let me file a report. So I got a case number that day, which is abnormal. Note, and you might think like you might think like that's bare minimum. You would think, right? And in the past, when I had tried to file reports, I hadn't got them either. Like I had tried to file reports on other people, and they would not give me a case number. So I was surprised when they gave me a case number. Granted, I had just thrown up. I was like sobbing when I walked into the office. So like I think they probably felt bad for me. And they gave me a case number. Some of the first questions they asked, which like I understand why they asked, but they were just like, you have to prove to us that you have no relationship with this person, because we do have people come in that are like, this is like their ex, and they're trying to like frame them to look like a stalker and look crazy and whatever. And I was like, I don't know how to prove to you. I don't know this person. Like, I don't know what he looks like. I don't know, whatever. And so basically all I got out of that day was a case number. So I got a case number, and then I couldn't do anything about it for another year. So there was a whole year that he was communicating with me and I didn't know. And then for an additional extra year, there were a bunch of, like, I'm looking at my phone because I wrote notes. There were a bunch of, it was just a whole year of emails, daily.
I don't know if you'd be okay with this, but I think it's important because a lot of people don't understand, like, emails. What do you mean? Like, could you read one?
Ooh.
Because it's just like, sometimes you guys, sometimes these emails are just pure gibberish. Like, sometimes they're pure gibberish. Sometimes they are POV of like a one-sided conversation. Sometimes they're ripping you apart. Sometimes they're like, you're scum of the earth, you piece of like whatever. Sometimes like it's kooky. The sad thing is like, regardless of size, you can be any size and have this problem. You can have 10 viewers. It's like unlucky. It's the wrong person, wrong time. They just come into your chat and
yeah.
That's it.
This one is, I just saw you went live last night. Sorry, I thought you'd be asleep, so I didn't check. I just want to say I'm glad you still love me. I'm working on myself. I love you too. I just happened to check a VOD and you sang our song last. That's why I came back. Bye.
And
so,
you're
like,
sitting there, you're like, I don't know what song I sang.
Don't know what song I sang. Like, don't know what I did that made him think I said I love you. Because he said it, he was just like, he thought, like, he watched the VOD and he thought I was talking to him through the VOD. Like, that was very typical. And some of them were short like that, and some of them were books. And I would get like 5 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day, 30 a day.
I wonder if I have this one. I want to like give you guys an example of a gibberish one. This is an old person that I'm not worried about. They seem to have moved on, but I wonder if I can find it. They would just send just the most gibbery. I had them in a file. Let me find it. Miscellaneous. Maybe I can't find it. Oh, I'll look while you're telling.
Okay. Yeah, so emails, that was like kind of typical on the shorter side for sure, because sometimes they would be super long, and I would get like, there were days when I would get 20 emails a day, like back to back to back to back to back. Like, it was just nonstop. And a lot of it was romantic obsession. Then there were times where he would be really, really mad, you know? And then but for like a whole year, it was just a lot of that, which was scary. But I had a private investigator. I knew where he was located. And so I wasn't like scared for my safety so much in that year. It was just like draining and stressful. And I was just kind of like sitting, like waiting for it to escalate, because at that point there was nothing that the police could or would do for me. So a whole year of that happened. And then after a year, he made his first like threat to show up. So he sent me an email. He was like, "I'm coming to Texas."
Well, at that point, is it 2 years?
It was like a year and a half when he first.
I see.
So after like two and a half ish years of him communicating with me is when he said that he would come to Texas for the first time.
Okay.
So I got the email. He was like, essentially, he was just like, "I'm on my way." I didn't know how far he was. I have no way of knowing. I have no way of knowing if he really knows where I am. I'm like trying. The other thing, I'm not going to tell this story well, guys. Sorry, because I just simply don't remember so much of it. It's really, I've blacked out so much of the story.
Yeah.
When I saw that email, I called 911. I was like, "Here's my case number.
Hello, he's coming over."
This has
Yeah.
been 2.5 years ongoing. He says that he's coming to get me. Like he's coming here." And they were
At
like,
this point, Maya has a gun.
yeah, no. So I had bought a gun at
Yeah.
that point. And it's nighttime, of course. It's nighttime. I am hiding in a room with a gun on the phone with 911 because I was like, he could be here. Don't know.
Yeah.
So I call them. They're like, "Do you have any proof that he's on your property?" And I was like, "No. I don't know how I could get proof of that. Like, I'm on a 15-acre property. Do you want me to go peek around?
Look for him.
Look for him, tell you if I see him, and then you can come out here." And so I couldn't give them proof that he was on the property. He still, they did come out though, but they just came out and talked to me, and they were like, "This is a 15-acre property. You want us, like, we can't like search it for him." And I was like, "Okay, so why'd you come out here?" And they took a report down that I like called the police, that they came out and made sure that I was safe or whatever, and then they left. So then
Thank you guys.
I had a good like half hour clutching a gun in a dark room crying.
But there was also a time where you were paying for security every single day at Alveus.
Yeah, so that started after he threatened to come. So then I started paying for security,
which is a really cool thing to spend money on.
So, yeah, security and private investigators are very expensive. And that's like what you said. It's a privilege to have this job, and it's a privilege to be able to afford stuff like that and have it not break your bank. But what do normal women do? Like, because normal women, non-streamer women, get stalked all the time. Like, are facing stuff like this all the time, and they don't have the money to have armed security posted at their door. Like, tens of thousands of dollars in this year I put into private security and private investigators. What do normal people do? They can't do anything, and you don't have police that are helping you either. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, there was private security at Alveus for a while. My staff had to show their ID when they came in through the gate. I could not live on site for over a month. Like I couldn't stay in my house because I was scared that he was going to come to my house and kill me. So I couldn't live there. Which sucks. And then just over a month after that was the second time. So I guess he said that he was coming and he wasn't actually coming. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he decided and told me he was coming but then didn't actually start driving. I don't know. Then a month later he did actually start driving and he emailed me, which I am it's a weird thing to say. I am lucky that he was such a communicative one. Because he made it known where he was and what his plans were all the time. So he told me that he was coming the second time, and he drove to Texas. He drove across many states.
State lines.
Yeah. He drove across
Which
many
technically
states.
is illegal.
Yeah. To come to Texas. At this point, like, I had been to the police station, I don't know, a lot of times because of this individual. Like, I brought in lots of emails. I got to the point where I started bringing in emails just as routine. Like, even if there was nothing particularly concerning or more concerning than what it normally was, I would just bring in a stack of paper and I'd be like, can you add this to my case file? And she'd be like, yep. And then I'd leave. Like, that was my relationship with the police office for a while. So they knew about it. So I called them. I was like, he's actually coming this time. The cop that I worked with managed to call him, or call his parents, who then called him or something. I don't know. I don't remember. And it made him very upset, obviously. He ran out of gas. Which again, I'm very lucky that he ran out of gas at that point because
the way it happened is so interesting, actually.
Yeah. So I'm telling the whole story. I'll just whatever. He was upset that he got a call. He thought that he was in trouble because he was. He's a schizophrenic man. He threw all of his stuff out the window because he was like paranoid. And so he threw his wallet out the window. And so he didn't have any money. So he ran out of gas on his way to me. And because he didn't have any money, he couldn't get any gas. So he like rolled off the side of the road into the suburb out of gas and was angry because he ran out of gas and he was trying to get to me. So he got out of his car and he shook down a stop sign. And I was also really lucky.
Which again is incredibly helpful that he decided to do that.
Because he was arrested for public disturbance. So I'm here like trying to get a warrant out for his arrest for stalking, which takes time and is really hard to do. And no one wants to do for you. Like nobody wants to do. They want to wait until they have done something to you. And even then they don't want to do anything. So he was arrested for public disturbance because he was like raging in the street and like shook down a stop sign. So he was arrested, put in jail. I'm trying to like keep track of what jail he's in and like what's happening. They release him very quickly, which sucks for me big time. And
because they're like, oh, he's not a problem to like anyone else.
Yeah.
Right? Or they just had no reason to hold him, or did someone pay his bond?
The jurisdiction that had him held was not aware of the warrant that was being put out for his arrest for stalking because it was a different jurisdiction from mine. So they didn't know.
Which is crazy.
Which is incredible. Like he was in jail. Yeah. He was in jail. And we were trying to get this warrant out. And that jail didn't know about this warrant. So they were like, you're free to go. Because like we don't have room in this jail or whatever. And so they let him back out. And then the prosecutors or the people that I was working with, they were like, why didn't you keep him? What the hell? And they were like, we didn't know. So he got let out again. He now doesn't have a car. He's like at large on foot.
He's in Texas in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I think what happened is he was intercepted by like his parents. Like I think his parents came out to get him somehow. I don't know. I don't remember how. I don't know how that's possible because they were states away.
If I recall correctly,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to like correct you because I don't want to be this person. If I recall correctly, he had a bond that his parents paid, and they came and picked him up and got him out of jail.
Oh, then he was in 2 jails because he was released from a jail before. I don't know. You're right though. I do remember his parents paying his bond.
Yeah, because I remember I was like mad that his parents paid his bond because I was like, hello,
but they came and got him.
do something.
So
yeah, they did.
Okay. I think he must have gotten picked up twice. It doesn't matter. I think he must have gotten picked up twice then. His parents came and got him, brought him back home. He was put in a...
Well, because the car was stolen. He stole his roommate's car.
Oh, no, that's why. Okay, so
there we go.
They let him go.
I remember.
Because they didn't know like that there was a warrant out for his arrest. But now he's at large in the street. He needs to be like detained to keep him safe and to keep me safe. And so his parents filed a report because he took their car. And so they were like,
their car?
Yeah. And so he was like, he stole our car.
I thought it was
his parents' car. So he was released because they didn't know about the stalking warrant. His parents needed him picked up because they needed him to be detained for his safety and for my safety. And so they put out a warrant they said that he stole their car because he drove their car to get me. And then he was arrested for that. And then his parents came and bailed him out for stealing their car and took him back home with them. His parents are doing their best. Like, it's really hard.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
So they brought him back home, and he was put in a psych facility. And so there were 3 months where I did not hear from him. I didn't hear an email from him. And at this point, it had been 3 years. Like overall, the whole thing lasted just about 3 years. So in these 3 years, like I had gotten emails from him every single day. And there were 3 months where he was in this facility and I got nothing. And I was like, oh my God, like this is awesome. And then after a while, I got a email from him after 3 months of him being in this facility. And it was a suicide note. And I sent it to the prosecutor. I was like, does this mean that he's been released because he now has access to the internet? Like, why didn't anyone tell me that he was released? What's going on? And he was like, oh, shit, yeah, he was released. Sorry. This was a suicide note. It was an attempt on his life. He is alive. He's now back in a psych facility. And I was like, great. Thank you guys for telling me. I'm glad that I found out that way. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know when I got that note. I think it was within the same month. Or like a month later or something, he actually ended his life. So that was 3 years. And at the end of it, he ended his life. And it's been a lot to process.
Which is scary because a lot of the time, like people, not like I think it's really important not to like put any stigmas on people with mental illness, but like majority of the time people with schizophrenia aren't actually violent regardless of like the violent things that they can say at times. And so it does make it like this extra level of scary that clearly he does have the capacity to be violent. And like a lot of the messages that he did send to Maya were like, you're coming with me, like if I go you go type thing.
Yeah.
Which is just incredibly lucky that he never got to you because who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. I also like, I don't, part of the reason I haven't, like, out of respect for him and his family, I'm not going to talk about like how he took his own life, but he told me a lot over the years. Like he emailed me, and granted, I never spoke to him, right? The only times I ever had communication with him was me talking on stream to a chatter,
and you have to send
sending
via
him,
the law, you have to send something, tell them to stop talking to you.
Right. It's not harassment unless you have already asked them to stop, and they didn't. So I had to send him notes a couple times where I would say like, no more communication is welcome, like whatever. So those are the only times I talked to him, but he told me a lot over the years, like how he was going to like do that to him and me and whatever. And the way that he actually ended it and the fact that it actually happened is like crazy to look back on. Yeah. The important thing, one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about it though, is because people are having these conversations online. And I just want to say fuck you to all the people that gave me shit in those 3 years. They were like, you don't stream enough. Yeah, why aren't you? Oh, like Maya's in a bad mood. Maya's like, she's not fun. Whatever. Like, you guys have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. You have no idea.
I'm sitting here getting emails about how someone's going to kill me, and I'm playing a Pico Party. Like, there's only so much capacity I can handle.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so if you take anything away from the story, let it be this stuff is happening, even if you're not hearing about it, and it's really bad, and it's really traumatizing, and you have no idea what people are going through. So you should just be nicer.
To give an example of like total just like no nonsensical emails, I used to have a man's. I don't know what happened to him, but he stopped. So it's been 2 years. But he would email me every day, multiple times a day, for looks like the first one for about a year and a half. But they would just be screenshots from his phone, a lot of text messages, a lot of, okay, here's this one. Well, your little one will see from heaven that you have forsaken his father and will weep over you. I shall perhaps not be believed when I say that Jesus' lovers felt not the slightest jealousy of his new rival. You seem to have sprung out of the earth.
Yeah. That's the other, like religious fixations, I think, come with schizophrenia sometimes. And that was another thing that made my reporting really hard with the police, is like they couldn't interpret like what he was saying.
Yeah.
And so I would bring them things and I would say, hey, this is a death threat. Like, this is a murder-suicide death threat. And I said that a lot of times. And because it was within a bunch of gibberish, they wouldn't accept it as that. They said he needs to clearly list out a weapon, a time, and a location as a threat on your life. Like, that is a death threat. And I was like, that's never going to happen. And they're like, well, then there's nothing we can do.
Well, it's crazy because, again, sometimes they can show up but they don't show a weapon or they don't touch you, so they won't do anything either.
Yeah. Right.
And then you try to file a report and they'll say, actually, this one, like, that's not a threat. That's not a threat. And then they say, so file it online. So then you go to file it online and they say, oh, you have 2 years of this documented. That's too threatening. You have to go file this in person. And then you go in person and you tell them what you just got online. And they say, yeah, you got to file it online. Just say it's non-threatening. I'm like, oh, so I should lie on my police report because clearly this is threatening if they have years and years of saying how they're going to attack me. But okay. All right. Okay. I think it's been said a few times about stalking, that stalking is murder in slow motion. Incredible stuff. Incredible that there is not enough law protecting people. And I understand that a lot of people do abuse stalking laws. However, I would argue that more people don't.
That's a good argument.
More people don't have access to them.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy how you cannot get help no matter how much you need it. No one will help you. It's like, it's exhausting. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good thing that people are talking about it right now and that more people know about it. At the very least, that the masses may have more sympathy. At the very least, at the very most, maybe they'll change something someday. I don't know. But yeah.
AOC, we're looking at you.
Yeah.
Lady, help us out.
That'd be awesome. Anyway, that's the story. I hope you guys had a good time. I know I did. Big news, my therapy's back from maternity leave tomorrow. So yippee. I'm going to talk to her about this a lot. Yeah, it's going to be sick.
And you guys can go check out the Patreon episode, which we recorded in person this week. We talked about the bad baby beef. Incredible. And we need your help with a very special project. So don't miss out on the Patreon.
It's a secret.
We need your help. It's a secret. We are not telling YouTube. But
YouTube doesn't know what
Patreon,
Patreon
got our
is.
little secret. And we need your guys' help.
No snitches.
We need your help.
See you over there.
Bye.
Bye.